Although highly unlikely, yes, it is technically possible we can lose to South Alabama. They've got some dudes, and you can like it, love it, hate it. The timestamps ain't going to lie about it. Till death do us part, in sickness and in health. There is a separation in a quarterback, and I'm going to bring it to you.
You are Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, y'all, and hello, all. Welcome back to Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily stop for all things cowboy and cowgirl related. My name is Cody Stovall. I want to thank you kindly for stopping by to make this your first listen here on Locked On Oklahoma State. You know we're available on every single podcasting platform, visually as well as YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at AllDayOState. Today we're partially brought to you by Jase Medical. Do not wait to the last minute. Get the things you need when you need them, regardless of the disasters going on in your life. Medical things are a necessity, and Jase has you hooked up there. All right. So, yes, we decided we were going to jump into the deep dive of the quarterbacks. Obviously, very glad that I did. And we're going to do this in sequential order here. All right. And also, I have a little bit of an announcement. I'm going to bring in a new segment to the show. It's going to be called like Regulator Day or something to that effect. We'll talk about it a little bit more here at the end. But like it, love it, share it, all that fun jazz. Let's jump right into this. So you start off the game, 13:55 mark, 3rd and 6. Alan Bowman's in, 11 personnel. We got BP in motion. We run a little bit of a rub route. And he didn't have a trail, so they tipped their hand from the very get-go that they were going to be in zone. They immediately bailed to cover 2. Jaden Bray has a post, kind of a skinny post flag route. And then BP has a 5 and out, but he doesn't go to 5 because he's a little bit more veteran than that. He stretches it to a 7-yard out because it was 3rd and 6. And if Bowman would have waited, I mean, heck, he could have hit BP right then and there, first down. Or he could have waited because he was trailing, right, to the short side of the field going against his body. If he would have just a hair later, he'd have had DeJon Stribling open underneath as well. So he had 2 different options, but instead he throws to Jaden Bray, who is then basically literally triple covered. And he's throwing off his back foot, moving backwards off platform. There's some good and some bad. We're going to talk about all of it. 3:59 mark, first quarter. We're down 7-0 already. It's 3rd and 2. We got 21 personnel in. Bray is at the Z. Leon's at the X. And then obviously we're going to have our main man, Braden Cassidy, run basically a clear out, but he just so happens to drive the dude, the linebacker, 7-8 daggone yards back. Leon's wide open crossing, and Bray, they literally cross each other. And when they cross each other in the middle of the field, there was literally not a defender within 6 to 7 yards of either of them. But instead, we check it down to Elijah Collins, and now give credit where credit's due. Elijah picks up a massive chunk here. So obviously, not bad, not a bad pass, but that is not the first read. There is no way that you have Jaden Bray, Brennan Presley, Leon Johnson on the field at the same time, and you're reading the third guy. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Second quarter, 14:59, 10 personnel, 4 wide. Bray's on the outside running a post. Brennan Presley and Josiah Johnson are both running outs. And then Stribling is running a go to kind of keep the free safety honest there. Bowman opens shotgun, 3-step drop, no pressure whatsoever. He starts drifting backwards again and slings off platform for no reason. He doesn't have that much of a rush. He throws an absolute dud. Thank goodness Jaden Bray made a quote-unquote phenomenal catch. I got to throw the bunny ears here there because that review looked a little sketchy. But anyways, he had to stop, right? And he had to completely contort his body the opposite way to quote-unquote catch the ball. Now, you cannot even say that in that situation that Alan Bowman's throwing him open because the free safety was, 12, 13 yards away? He had no chance to make the play. 12:04 mark, right? There's some good and some bad. We're on the 2-yard line, open, 1 step. It seems to be like a timing out route to Stribling, and the dude sails it 4 foot out of bounds, 6 foot short. You even see Strib in the the highlights and whatnot. He turns around with his hands up like, bro, what in tarnation was that? But 13:06 mark. Okay, second quarter, 3rd and 2, 19-yard line. We got trips on the short side of the field. Cover one look defensively. Perfect design and execution. Jaden Bray hits a 3-yard slant that goes all the way down to the 3-yard line. That was a beautiful job by Alan Bowman. The way that he was able to get his body squared away and understand what the defense was doing, what it was giving him, and the fact that you have that one-on-one situation on the outside. I mean, that's all you want, right? One-on-one situations as much as physically possible. So then we'll go to Gunnar, right? The 9:32 mark, second quarter, second 2, Jaden Bray and BP, Brennan Presley are on the wide side of the field. Scribbling's on the short side of the field. Cover 2 look. They blitz the defensive back. Gunnar sees it, right? He sees that the DB has a free release coming in hot. One step, boom, opens up with a pretty decent throw. Now, Jaden Bray probably could have and should have cheated a little bit more to the outside, but realistically, not that bad of a pass, right? But throwing into the blitz there is the right call, 100%. Like, that's exactly what you want to do. But you only need 4 yards, right? And the free safety has his hips to turn to the numbers. So it's got to be a time where Gundy can see that, right? You got to see that the DB is facing literally the wrong daggone way, and you got 2 wide receivers out there. That throw needs to go into the voided zone because BP had a one-on-one matchup and was wide open on the 5-out dig route. Easy, right? Okay, so not bad, but again, we're paying more attention to the reads. 7:57 mark, 3rd and 6, 10 personnel, 4 wide, 4-man front defensively. They have 2 linebackers come and they stand up on the line in the A gap and the B gap. And then you have the free safety coming in hot from 11, 12 yards deep, darn near full speed, right? This is numerical advantages game. If those 2 linebackers eat up Joe Mikulski and Taylor Materko, which they did, that free safety is literally running free, full speed in the backfield to the quarterback. Now, with 4 wide and 2 completely vacated zones, both DBs are 8 and 10 yards back, right? An audible would have been great. Check to some degree obviously would have been nice. I mean, it is what it is. But Jay Nixon actually does a very good job getting to the vacated area. But once again, we kind of started scrambling for no daggone reason. Let's go second quarter, 1 minute, 32-second mark, 3rd and 8, 11 personnel package. We got Strib, DeJohn Stribling running a 10-12 kind of break. And then you've got Jay Nixon coming in motion. They show the double blitz again, but immediately bail, right? Leaving both Jaden Nixon and DeJohn Stribling open. Elijah, does miss on a block. It was pretty bad. He whiffed. The dude did kind of have a little bit of a almost free shot on our main man Gunnar. But from then, they had a stunt inside. Preston and Dalton allowed way too much penetration. It got kind of wonky. But let's be fair. Gunnar had 2 instances in that one play that he could have hit 2 different guys. And potentially, right, Jaden's a possibility there. Stribling for sure. And then another bad A thing. 9 minutes, 17 mark, 3rd quarter, 20 personnel. We got Schultz playing like basically the H-back. We got 3 wide, Jaden Bray, Brennan Presley out wide. We got Stribling on the short side of the field. We got a 3-yard slant. And he did such a good job selling an outside release that his eyes read the defensive back and the linebacker. He also felt the defensive blindside pressure coming at him. And he threw it on a much improved line. Dare I say, it was almost a laser, right? Live, when it was going through the game, I was like, oh, that wasn't that great of a throw. But then whenever you rewatch it, it was a phenomenal catch, right? That's undeniable. Phenomenal catch by DeJohn. But he actually led him pretty good. He put some hot sauce on it, and technically, he threw him open. That's what you want to do. That's what you got to do. And that is what he did. It's right. So there's good, there's bad. And Gunnar was actually very decisive at times. He still does the best on the team of the job of selling out the fakes and then the finishes off of those. right? That's stuff that he 100% excels at. All right, let's jump in sequential order. Once again, Garret Rangel, 11 personnel. We got an overload to the strong side, and it's a design rollout to the opposite side of his body, which, not the biggest fan of. He's got Ollie out there kind of as a lead blocker, but once again, we have a lineman, massive whiff. Austin Kweke gets roasted like he's at a daggone bonfire, and it causes Garret to kind of have the backside dragged by Bray. And then you also have Leon breaking inside, but he throws off of his platform a little bit here to the hashes with the DB out of that window. If obviously our offensive lineman, Kweke, doesn't completely whiff, probably a decent play call, but he didn't give Owens a very good job to come down with the daggone ball. He's got to be quicker than that, right? That's that commercial. Got to be quicker than that. It was a phenomenal attempt by Rashad, but this is another opportunity that Garret Rangel missed out on because he had a couple different opportunities. If he just sets his feet, you're gonna take the hit, right? And it was almost complete. So if you just do it sooner, probably good to go there. 12:38 mark, fourth quarter, 1st and 10, 3 wide, H-back, fake the handoff, pre-snap. Oh, this was great. This one was great. He reads man, right? He knows he's got 2-on-2 on the outside. We've got a tunnel screen, and people say at times that some of our quarterbacks have an issue with throwing off platform, which we do. But this is one of those instances where he plants his feet in the ground, and he throws an absolute dart to Strib, who takes it up the crease for a 10-yard gain. It was a quick snap, quick sneak, and then 3rd and 1 right after that. And he puts on darn near 20 pounds in the offseason, and you're telling me that last year's Garret Rangel gets that 3rd and 1 quarterback rush up the gut? Probably not. Probably not even probably. We probably know definitely not. Right? 11:02 mark, 4th quarter, 1st and 10. Beautiful bunch set. I love that stuff. Set to the wide side of the field. We got 1-on-1 on the outside, on the opposite side of the field. We got Strib running the clear route, and he sells it obviously very, very well. We have that a little bit of eye candy here. Garret looked off the safety and the DB literally 4 times pre-snap. Checks the linebacker, sees the blitz, sells the pass to all 3 of the receivers on that side, which freezes everybody, which obviously gives you the numerical advantage on the other side of the field. And he's dead eyeing the DB the entire time, even when he's handing the ball off, right? Does a little fake set snap to see what the linebackers are going to do, makes him commit, hands it off right into the vacated zone, sails it with his eyes the entire time. Beautiful job. Go check it out. Jaden Nixon then gets out right. He busts, he jukes, gets a little 10-yard extra gain here. 9:39 mark, 4th quarter, 2nd and 8. Calls an audible. Love that. Reads the numbers advantage that we had because we had 4 guys next to their 3 guys. And we give it to Elijah Collins. He hammers his way all the way down to the 2-yard line. It was a, bad job on the flag, right? We got to bring that up. That was not good management. You got to notice whenever the ref that is kind of responsible for the dictation of the running of the clock, you got to be paying attention to him. That hurt us, right? That hurt us a lot. You cannot get yourself in a position where you have to settle for a field goal here. But realistically speaking, guys, this is, to me, fairly clear that we have 2 quarterbacks that runs the offense pretty daggone well. And then we have one that's always drifting backwards and scrambling unnecessarily and throwing off of his back foot and not reading pressures right. I mean, you can say what you say. I still believe right now, right, Gunner's going to start. And then I would imagine right after that's going to be Alan Bowman, and they're going to get the meat and taters of what's going to happen in South Alabama. Even though, I still think Garret Rangel is the best quarterback. Alan Bowman put himself behind the 8 ball in this game. Go rewatch it. Go rewatch it. Look at the timestamps. You'll see what I'm talking about. There is a big difference between the 3, and it all starts in the feet. It all starts in the base. That's the difference. And that's a difference that'll get you. It'll come back and haunt you every daggone time. That's when you're asking for picks. Just like throwing into triple coverage when you got 2 dudes wide open, missing crossing routes. If you've been playing college football for 5 years, this is stuff you should be able to read easy. So that's my take on it. Now, Is Alan Bowman still good enough to win a 7-8 games? Abso-freaking-lutely. So it's not a reason to be stressed. I would almost say it's a reason to halfway be excited. We have this thing going on at quarterback that, again, could make Gundy look like a genius. Iowa State's going to teach us everything, but we got to get by this first. Speaking of getting by, guys, go check out Jase Medical for me. Look, don't be caught unprepared. Everyone should be able to take care of themselves and their family during unexpected times. Jase Medical handles everything from like the online evaluations, and they have licensed pharmacy, medications, delivery, and ongoing consultation and care. It's very important that we illustrate nowadays how difficult it is, even economically, to get the stuff that you need. Jase Medical is simple. You go online, you fill out the form, and then you get prescription life-saving medications right to your door. Give Jase case, gives you peace of mind, and you're not just hoping and praying that you have access to medication in an emergency. Jase Medical makes sure that you have that medication in hand. Save more than $360 by getting these life-saving antibiotics with Jase Medical, plus an additional $20 off right now by using my Locked On code. That's Locked On, one word, at checkout at jasemedical.com. That is JESE medical.com. Don't get caught unprepared, y'all. It's not fun. It's not fun when you get yourself behind the 8 ball. Medical needs. Don't put it off. Get something that'll help you immediately. All right, so I just kind of, gave the leak there. If I'm a betting man, Gunnar Gundy and Alan Bowman likely get the most snaps this game. I also think that we're going to have a pretty good idea, at least from a coaching staff and player perspective, of what we're going to roll into Iowa State. I would like us to continue to give all this eye candy out, right? Is it smoke and mirrors to some degree? Yeah. But do we also not know which one we're going to go with to some degree right now? Yes. This competition has been real. It's been real since the spring. Well, since they put pads on. Before they put pads on, it looked like, yeah, Alan Bowman's going to take us all the way. It really did. But sometimes when the bullets are flying per se on the field, things get a little bit muggy. They get a little bit watered down. So I do think we're going to start with Gunnar, then we're going to go Alan Bowman, and then, likely Garret Rangel come in and be the closer again. Look pretty good. And my emphasis here, once again, is that I don't care who starts, guys. I don't care if we run Wildcat with Ollie Gordon all year. I care about winning, because the more we win, the more national exposure we can have. The more national exposure we can have, the better off we are with recruits. Right? This is a pretty plain and simple fact here to me. Oh yeah, I did want to kind of dive into a little bit more before we get into South Alabama. We're about to jump into South Alabama, and I promise you're not going to want to miss that. But guys, I'm going to do this regular day show, like once a month. The guys, girls, whoever that is on the show on a regular basis, always watching it, always, sending messages and in the comment section and all that fun jazz. I think it's fair that y'all get the opportunity to be a part of the show as well. I try to keep this fun, engaging, and overall important. So I think it'd be fun to have a day where once a month, a couple of the top people that are, invested into the show get to come on the show. But we need to kick this thing up a notch, y'all. So share it, right? Share it if you like it. Sharing is caring. Comment. And if you don't like it, for Pete's sake, ladies and gentlemen, let me know why you don't like it. Let me know what I could potentially do better to make your experience the best. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Help me out. All right. What's not going to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy is going to be South Alabama. This game will, serve as a homecoming for one, for a couple of Okies. Linebacker Trey Kaiser, who's like 6 foot 230, originally from Stillwater, Oklahoma. And then they have a tight end, Lincoln Seppick, that hails from none other than Enid High School in Cowboy Country. But South Alabama, we've been talking about how they're kind of scary. Last week, Carter Bradley became the winningest quarterback in South Alabama history. Major Applewhite is their daggone offensive coordinator, and he's in his second year now. Last year, they were able to put up some pretty substantial numbers, which is why they went 10-3. He was instrumental. Major Applewhite was last year in getting wide receiver Jalen Tolbert to earn the Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Year, which is the first time ever for a South Alabama Jaguar. And Tolbert led the conference in catches, receiving yards per game, yards per reception, ranked third in total yards per game nationally. And he put himself in a position to get drafted and was in the third round by the Dallas Cowboys. And a lot of that credit, everyone is saying, is due to Major Applewhite. And then, Carter Bailey. Carter Bailey is a really good quarterback. He produces a balanced offense, right? Last game, he passed for 261. They ran for 248 on the ground. He threw at 73% completion clip. Colin Lacey was the top target. He had 8 catches for almost 140 yards and a tutty. The duo looked very good together. And they also set the longest passing touchdown in program history together. The ground game is pretty legitimate. They have a 2-combo punch with Kentrell Bullock, which we're going to talk about in a little bit again. But Damian Webb is a dude. He's kind of nursing his way back in, but he's going to be pretty effective in this game. Defensively, they're pretty balanced. They got several defenders that can swarm the ball. Yam Banks led the team, and he's a returning All-American. In the Jaguar territory, they've got some formidable foes. Fellow safety Jadon Vizion also forced a crucial takeaway in their last game. He made a key hit. I really like what they got going on. Their head coach, right, Kane Womack, played at Arkansas, was a fullback there from 05 to 06. And he helped the Arkansas Razorbacks win the Southeast Conference Division title after transfer from Mississippi State. And, guys, the quarterback's killer. Carter Bradley's from Jacksonville, Florida, right? Transfer from Toledo. He's 6'3", 220. He set school records last year, passing for 3,326 yards, 276 completions in his first year ever at South Alabama. He ranked top 50 nationally in 11 different categories, including 22 or 22nd in passing touchdowns and 25th in passing yards. South Alabama can give us fits. South Alabama can give us a problem, right? We just hit some of the cherries on top, but you ready for this? They've got a safety transfer from Ole Miss. Okay, they've obviously got the quarterback from Toledo. They've got a linebacker from Indiana. They've got a wide receiver from A&M. They've got transfers in here from Memphis, Ole Miss, OU. Matter of fact, a couple of OU dudes in here. Tulane, Auburn, Kansas State, Colorado, Virginia Tech, Mississippi State, Purdue, Mississippi State, ULM, Florida, Tennessee, Auburn, Mississippi State, South Carolina, South Dakota, Alabama, OU again. Guys, this team is loaded down with some talent. They've got what? The O-line transfer from Mississippi State, 6'4", 305. He's a guy. They got Florida State transfer offensive lineman Dante Lucas, 6'4", 232. James Robinson, offensive line transfer from Tennessee, 6'5", 326. Another offensive lineman from Auburn, Daniel Foster Allen, 6'3", 299. This is a formidable foe, y'all. Are they going to have the depth we have? Absolutely not. Are they going to have the overall team speed that we have? Probably not. But it is real that they can jump up and bite us. So, playing this multi-quarterback system, I like what it brings for the potential in, like, adding like illusions to some degree. And we'll kind of talk a little bit more about it as well in a second. But real quick, y'all, I gotta let you know, last minute tickets are available for you. You don't have to stress. You don't have to freak out. You don't have to worry about putting things in advance for months and weeks. Gametime is the fastest way and realistically the easiest way for you to buy tickets to sports, music, comedy, and theater. We've got killer deals, last minute tickets, and best price guarantee. You can stop stressing about all the tickets you need and start getting hyped for the fun you're going to have regardless of when you want to have it. Forget all the planning. Forget all the advancement. And it doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater. Gametime guarantee will be there for you. And they'll always help you get the best price. You'll find tickets in the same section in the same row for less money. They're going to credit you back 110% of the difference. Download the Gametime app today. Rate an account. Use the code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, of course, but create that account. Redeem that code. LOCKEDONCollege, all one word, for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, y'all, before I let you skedaddle on out of here, I got to hit you something with I think is pretty fun, just for a knowledge standpoint, right? Just to kind of have in your back pocket when it comes to some of the statistical analysis type of stuff. South Alabama is 9-1 when rushing for more than 100 yards in a game since 2022. That's tied for 10th in the country. South Alabama's 9-2 when converting 55% or more of its red zone chances into touchdowns. And that's tied for 13th best in America in the FBS for the 2022 season. South Alabama is 8-1 when allowing less than 3 sacks a game since 2022. 13th best in the country. South Alabama is also 8-1 when averaging more than 5 yards on first down plays since 2022. Tied for 8th in America. This is a formidable foe. Let's see, guys, we're undefeated when allowing, less than 5 yards per rush since 2022, which is tied for the best in the country. We are undefeated 5-0 when allowing less than 5 yards per rush. Tied for number 1 in America. We're also undefeated when allowing less than 5 yards per rush this season as well. If we can get it together, we're 11-2 when averaging more than 5 yards on first down plays since 2021, which is 6th best in the country. We're also 13-5 when rushing for more than 100 yards a game since 2021. 15th best among all Power 5 programs in the country. Sure, we're known for some high-flying stuff. Yeah, we can grip it and rip it when necessary. But what we're doing, smoke and mirrors-wise, if it works, genius move. Love it. Amazing. If it doesn't work, it's a big deal. If we lose to South Alabama, regardless of how many Division I talented 6'3", 350-pound dudes they got, they're still South Alabama. Still not a resume builder. Still need to get it done. All righty, y'all. I think that's all we're going to have for this one. Again, like it if you like the daggone thing. Share it, share it, share it. We need to get this thing pumping even more. We're hot and heavy into football season. And we're having fun with it. All righty, y'all. You know I love you. As always, God bless. Go Pokes. And thank you for tuning in to make this your first listen. Here on Locked On Oklahoma State, you could be anywhere. I'm glad that you're here. Go check out the other pods. We need to get Oklahoma State out nationally as much as possible. Believe in OK State podcast, OK State Props podcast, Feels Like 45 podcast. Everything that you can get in your hands on Orange Power, O State, Max, whatever, get your hands on it. Let's get this thing rolling. The hype train needs to start because everybody in the country is doubting the hype train. So let's make it. Let's make the train. All righty, y'all. Later, taters.